Forget everything you think you know about West Coast style. This is not beach house whites and quiet neutrals anymore. This is jewel-tone walls, curved velvet sofas, and art so bold it stops guests mid-conversation. Bold, maximalist, high-end West Coast design has arrived in 2026. And by the end of this video you're going to see the exact formula designers are using to make more feel like more without ever feeling like too much. If you are ready to see luxury design get loud again, hit subscribe and turn on notifications before we walk through this, because this style is about to be everywhere. The end of quiet luxury on the West Coast. For years the West Coast owned a very specific look. White walls, linen everything, a single olive branch in a ceramic vase. All of it designed to whisper money instead of shout it. That era is officially over. Interior designers are calling 2026 the year maximalism fully takes over. And nowhere is that shift landing harder than in high-end West Coast homes. The quiet luxury movement that dominated the last few years has started to feel, in the words of designers working right now, flat and predictable. Rooms that looked like they came out of a single furniture catalog stopped feeling like homes and started feeling like showrooms. What is replacing it is not chaos. It is confidence, color, pattern, and personality, applied with the same precision that quiet luxury used to apply to beige. What maximalist West Coast actually means in 2026. Here is the part that separates this from the maximalism of the past. This is not clutter for the sake of clutter. Designers are describing it as curated confidence, layering meaningful details, colors, and textures into a space that feels like a work of art rather than a flea market. On the West Coast specifically, that curated boldness gets filtered through the region's natural instincts, warmth, organic shape, and an easy relationship with indoor-outdoor living. So instead of the East Coast's traditional formal version of maximalism, West Coast maximalist homes lean into curved silhouettes, sculptural furniture, and color palettes pulled straight from the coastline and canyon landscape around them. Bold does not mean cold or busy here. It means rich, tactile, and deeply personal. The color palette driving the look. Walk into one of these homes and the first thing that hits you is color, real color, not the safe grays that dominated the last decade. Deep jewel tones like emerald, sapphire, and amethyst are showing up on entire walls, not just in a single throw pillow. These are being balanced against warm neutrals, chocolate brown, burgundy, tobacco leather, which keep the boldness feeling mature instead of garish. On the West Coast specifically, designers are pulling in oak ochre, maple spice, and cornflower blue, tones that echo sunset light and desert landscape rather than pulling from a generic color wheel. The rule driving all of it is layering. A jewel tone wall gets grounded by a warm neutral rug, which gets lifted by a brass or chrome accent. Nothing sits alone. Everything talks to everything else in the room. The living room as a statement. This is where the style shows off the most. Picture a curved sectional sofa upholstered in a rich emerald velvet, its shape soft and organic rather than boxy, sitting on a hand-knotted rug layered over another rug beneath it, a technique designers are leaning into hard this year to add depth underfoot. Furniture with exaggerated silhouettes, chunky table legs, fan-shaped arches, curved backs, gives the room presence instead of blending into the walls. Above it all, a piece of museum-scale original artwork anchors the space. Not decoration in the traditional sense, but a full design statement that the entire room is built around. Designers describe this shift as homes becoming private galleries, where art defines a room rather than simply filling a blank wall. Layer in a chrome or brass floor lamp with a dramatic silhouette, a scattering of textured throw pillows mixing boucle, velvet, and leather, and you get a room that rewards a slow look instead of a quick glance. The kitchen gets personality too. Even the kitchen, historically the most neutral room in any high-end home, is getting the maximalist treatment. Instead of all white cabinetry and quartz everything, designers are introducing colored cabinetry in deep tones like ochre or burgundy, paired with statement hardware in brushed brass or blackened metal. Open shelving is coming back specifically to display curated objects, ceramics, glassware, cookbooks with beautiful spines, turning storage into styling. A single dramatic pendant light or a cluster of sculptural fixtures over an island replaces the plain recessed lighting that dominated kitchens for the last several years. The countertop might still be a quiet stone, but everything surrounding it now has a voice. Bedrooms built for drama and comfort at once. The bedroom in this style walks a careful line, bold enough to feel exciting, soft enough to still function as a retreat. A statement headboard, often upholstered in a rich textured fabric or channel-tufted velvet, becomes the focal point of the entire room. Walls might be painted in a deep, moody tone, sapphire or a warm burgundy, paired with layered bedding in mixed textures rather than a single matching set. Designers are calling this smart shrinking, intentional, personality-filled pockets of space rather than sprawling open-plan bedrooms with nothing to anchor the eye. A reading nook in the corner, dressed in a bold patterned chair, gives the room a second point of interest instead of leaving one big rectangle of space to speak for itself. Mixing eras instead of matching them. One of the clearest signals of this shift is what is missing. Perfectly matched furniture sets are disappearing. Designers this year are actively avoiding rooms where every piece comes from the same collection, because that level of coordination reads as flat and impersonal rather than luxurious. Instead, high-end West Coast homes are mixing eras deliberately. A vintage brass floor lamp next to a brand new curved sofa, a mid-century credenza beneath a piece of contemporary sculptural art. The goal is a room that looks collected over time by someone with real taste, not assembled in a single shopping trip. That mix of old and new, polished and lived in, is exactly what makes maximalist spaces feel personal instead of staged. Why this style works so well on the West Coast specifically. Bold maximalism could feel heavy in the wrong setting, but on the West Coast it has a built-in advantage: light. These homes are typically flooded with natural light through large windows and strong indoor-outdoor connections. And that light does something important to saturated color and rich texture. It keeps the boldness from ever feeling dark or closed in. A deep emerald wall in a dim, enclosed room can feel oppressive. That same wall in a sun-filled California living room with sliding glass doors open to a patio reads as rich and alive instead. Designers point to this constantly when explaining why West Coast maximalism looks different from East Coast maximalism. The architecture itself, all that glass, all that light, becomes a permanent design partner for every bold color choice made inside. The one principle that keeps it from tipping into chaos. And here is the detail that separates a beautifully bold room from a genuinely overwhelming one. Every designer working in this style right now comes back to the same rule: a unifying thread running through the entire space. That might be a single recurring color that shows up in 3 or 4 places across a room. It might be a material, brass, that repeats in the lighting, the hardware, and a decorative object. It might simply be a consistent level of warmth across every fabric in the room. Without that thread, bold choices start fighting each other. With it, even a room with a jewel-tone wall, a patterned rug, vintage furniture, and museum-scale art reads as intentional rather than accidental. That single unifying thread is the real secret behind every high-end maximalist space that actually works. That is bold, maximalist, high-end West Coast design. Proof that luxury in 2026 is not about disappearing into beige. It is about having the confidence to let a room say something. If you want more design breakdowns like this one, subscribe and turn on notifications, because we are covering a new style every single week. Tell us in the comments if you would go bold like this in your own home. See you in the next one.